Hello everyone and welcome back to the Final Fantasy XIV experiment. We are back with Ludwig MSQ's lot on our newest episode to take care of the MSQ. We are in Gridania getting ready to speak to Mother Mione about what awaits us after completing Tamtara Deepcroft. So, you're not averse to taking a little trip? Wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, the request comes to us from the Adventurers Guild in Ul'dah. Once you arrive, seek out Momodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand. Think of her as the Sultanate's version of myself. Chances are she'll send you into the midst of danger, but I have every confidence that you'll pull through unscathed. Now off you go, Ludwig, and good luck. Okay, so we are going to Ul'dah. I'm unattuned! That's horrific. I'm unattuned. Hello, please give me a ticket to Ul'dah. Okay, so we are now in Ul'dah. I'm going to break free. Yeah, so I'm gonna come on out and speak to Momodi, which I believe is the Ruby Road Exchange, but I guess we'll find out, because we're in Ul'dah and I don't know where anything is anymore. But on the bright side of things, we have the ability to attune to this aetheryte now. Oh, and our worlds are about to collide because we are going to run into Elephant Man. Oh, his wife is back. Oh, thank goodness. I was wondering where she was. Oh, I'm so glad to see them back together after all. I was worried last episode when I didn't see her. That Lalafel's name is Sakapatate. So let me attune to this aetheryte. While I'm attuning, I want to tell you guys about Coca-Cola berry, what is this called? Cherry float or something? It's like capitalizing on this trend of like dirty sodas. But fellas, it's just cherry vanilla Coke. Like, it's not a new syrup or anything. Like, I'm drinking it right now, and it's cherry vanilla Coke. So, I'm intrigued by, like, the trend of dirty sodas, because I just don't get it. But I guess to each his own. Welcome to the Quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now, if you wouldn't mind showing yourself to... Judging by your determined expression, I take it you ain't here for ale. Are you called Ludwig MSQ's lot by any chance? Mione sent word that you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventurer of the moment. That ain't no small praise coming from her. But you didn't come all the way here to listen to my prattle. Doubtless you're eager to get started, so let's talk business, shall we? Oh! I will take a level up. The petitioner ought to be arriving any moment now. Gods almighty! Another second under that sun, and I would have been set afire. A tankard of ale, if you would be so kind. Excellent timing, Papa Sean. Just so happens the adventurer who'll be handling your petition is here. So this strapping young lad is the much-lauded adventurer, is he? Marvelous, marvelous. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, good sir. I am Papa Sean, formerly of the Sultan's Horn. I thank you for agreeing to lend us your aid. Mayhap you'd like to apprise Ludwig of his mission? Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It relates to an unfortunate development at Copperbell Mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are of the clan known as Hecatonkers, or something. Fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mines during the bygone Thorn dynasty. Alas, it seems they have managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels where the miners ply their trade. The creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of their ancestors, and their presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site. Well, it's no wonder they were angry. Didn't the Thorn dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, milady. The people of that age used the Hecate to work their mines. By way of enchanted helms, they were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will. But as is oft the way in such tales, these enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the Hecate, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lowermost levels. So it was that the great giant revolt was ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well, now, that's got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Copperbell in the Mithril Eye a fortnight or so ago. It said the mines were being reopened so as to meet the rising demand for building materials. Like as not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. Gods, to think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries. That's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething. Indeed, and that makes them a danger to us all. There will be no mining at Copperbell so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is the task which we would have you undertake. I'll not deny that the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great, and so I beg you, put an end to this sorry business. Gods bless you. I feared you might have reservations, but I assure you it is for the best. In case you don't know, Copperbell Mines are in western Thanolin. Do take care of you here. Ah, and one last thing before you depart. An employee of Amagina and Sons is presently at the quicksand. The fellow's name is Painted Mesa, and he knows Copperbell Mines well. It may behoove you to seek his counsel. Oh. Hello. Closer than I thought.
Looking for Painted Mesa? You found him. So you're the adventurer who volunteered to deal with the mess down at Copperbell, are you? You've got guts, mate. I just hope you've got the skills to go with them, 'cause things ain't pretty down there. The Hecate left the place in a right state, and nary a week after mining resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the second old dynasty was young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. If it hadn't been for the shortage of materials needed for the rebuilding effort, the concern would never have thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being buried under a mountain's worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong. Our miners dug up more than they bargained for. One swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in the company of giants. Unless we can subdue 'em, the nation's glorious recovery will grind to a halt yeah. Keeping watch over the entrance in case the giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of 'em will be able to show you the way in. The hope of the nation's resting on you, friend. Best of luck. Okay, I must speak with the stone torch before Copperbell Mines. Oh my gosh, let me go.
We are now in front of Copperbell Mines. Let's speak to Stone Torch.
There's been an incident inside Copperbell Mines. We are here to ensure that its effects are contained, but for your own safety, I suggest you stay well away from here. What? You're the adventurer who's volunteered to queel the I didn't think that Papa Sean would be able to find someone so quickly, if at all. The giants are content to wreak havoc inside the mines for now, but it's only a matter of time before they think to come outside. The sooner you see to them, the better. Make ready as best you can, and enter at will.
Alright, it's time for Copperbell. Let's see how the queue time goes for this bad boy. I'm gonna make sure I'm geared up, and then hit entrance with a party of other players. Alright. Abandoned, once perched of... Great reading. Abandoned, once purged of ore, Copperbell Mines lay untouched for nigh on 3 centuries until Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern reclaimed the shafts. The guild's sights set on expanding the mines downward in an attempt to tap yet undiscovered veins of valuable metal. Unfortunately, it was not riches the powder kegs uncovered, but sheer terror, for when the smoke cleared, outpoured an army of raging giants from the darkest recesses of the mines. The Hecate thralls of the lost Thorn dynasty were at last free from their lightless prison, 300 years of hate fueling their madness. Alright, let's see how long this takes, huh? Aha! Let's go! Oh, we have a lot there. Oh, she's our tank, and she's friend-shaped. This is an interesting one. I always kind of liked Copperbell. It's kind of a fun little spot, you know? I can't wait till I get an AoE. It's gonna be really special for me. So these elevators need to be activated, and they do not care if you're all on them or not, so it's possible for people to go ahead without you. Basically what you need to do is just hit the lift lever again. On the outside, rather, and it'll call the elevator back up to you if you get left behind, so you can take it again. The tank right now is pulling everything in a straight line, and she's going to keep running, because what happens is all of these mobs that we're running past will actually de-aggro if you get far enough away from them. This is one of the only dungeons where you can do that. So she's going to run as far as possible to get some of these people to stop following her. I'm going to pop a heal on her just to help her out with this pull. And we have pulled into the room, which means some of these things are just straight up leaving. So this is what I was saying, is a lot of the mobs will just de-aggro. It's as simple as that. Little tip for Copperbell, there's a fire sand up on top of this pillar. You can't really... pile. You can't really see it because of the camera angle, but it's right there. You're going to want to place your fire sand and then set off the blasting device, and we'll get our first boss, Hotos. He's a pretty cool guy. Thank you, camera. I got out of the safe zone to get back into the safe zone. We're going to take our tiny key and our beautiful treasure coffer. Let's see. We can't use that, so I'm going to pass on it. But that could be helpful, so I'm going to green on this. Over here, this is usually where I get left behind. There's a treasure coffer right here that you only really need if you are new to this dungeon. I need it because I am new to this dungeon. These people were nice enough to wait for me, and so we'll be on our way. The carbuncle will spawn at the bottom, don't worry about that. So here you're wanting to get the fire sand, which is held by the blasting caps. So in each room, you'll want to kill them, get your fire sand, and then you'll be able to have enough fire sand to explode the lever for the blocked area up top. Oh, healer's got it. And there it goes. Now we're off to our second boss, I believe. We just need to get that fire sand there. Perfect. And this is the Icarus Ire. I really like this boss. It used to be way harder than it is right now, and I am very glad that I never have to experience how difficult it was. So when these come down, they're going to have an area of effect around them, so you're always going to want to stand in an area where some slime goops are not. You'll notice what I did there was I was standing where the tank was facing the boss, so you're always going to want to move away from where the tank is standing. Of course, move out of the way of the AoE, but once you're safe, go back to a safe spot away from the tank. While you're staying away, though, something you want to keep in mind is that the healer has to heal you, and they have a range on their spells. So if you're all the way in this back corner, for example, sure, you might be able to DPS, but your healer might be across the map from you and cannot reach you with heals. So if you get hit, you're on your own. I am not a Disciple of War, so I can't wear that either, so I'm going to pass on it. And fantastic. Now we get into the more difficult pull of the map, but our tank and healer combo is working pretty well. Oh, and finally something I can use. Oh, but I already possess an Acolyte skirt, so it doesn't matter. Slaves no more. Free, free. Out he comes. I'm a big fan of this guy. I like the design. I think he's cool. I like the story of Copperbell. Nice. I have leveled up, and Gary Gygax is gone. So that was pretty awesome. And let's see what we have going. I can give a player commendation. There you go, friend-shaped. And a plundered Gwimwaw, but I already have one of those. So now that's it for me. That was very nice of Friendshaped to escort me out. I received a player commendation. That's awesome for Ludwig. Alright, let me take a quick thumbnail over here. Successfully taken a thumbnail, so now we're off to Painted Mesa, who's back in Old Daw. I'm going to take the teleport over there for just 163 gil and turn this bad boy in. Painted Mesa has an instance for me to do. Let's see.
The Conqueror of Copperbell returns. Thanks to you, our mining operations can resume, and Old Daw will have the materials she needs to rebuild. The entire nation's in your debt, friend. I'll share the good tidings with Papa Sean the next time I see him. As for you, you'll want to report to Momodi. It'll do the woman well to see you alive and in one piece.
No! Yeah, that's a good, good voice for her. Shut your mouth, you thieving little swine. You stole from me. Don't even think to deny it. Please, sir, I didn't steal nothing. I bought this paper with my own coin. What rot!
Wait, what voice? Did I already forget?
What rot! You refugees are all the same. Couldn't afford a maggoty mole meat, much less a choice cut of dodo. I'm gonna say it one more time. Give back what you stole, or I'll make you wish you'd never set foot in this town. By rights, I should turn you over to the help keep the streets safe for law-abiding citizens, but I'm a reasonable man. If you agree to serve me in whatever capacity I require, the authorities need not hear your crime.
Okay, evil laughing ensues.
But I ain't done nothing wrong. 12 as my witness.
It's me. I'm 12.
Please, Adventurer, help me, I beg you. I swear on my mother's grave I didn't steal nothing. Bought this with the coin I saved. I only wanted to treat my children to a decent meal.
Oh, that was really elegant.
And who the hells are you when you're at home? This dog's master? I've had enough of this mummer's farce. You lot, teach him a lesson.
All right.
defeat some bodyguards. I can do that. I can do that indeed. I didn't even rotate my camera. I like to think I read him a story. I think I picked my mic with how squeaky that was. Owen. Thank you, kind Thank you, thrice. Oh no, I'm getting a nosebleed. I'd swear there were more refugees when I last looked. And you wouldn't be mistaken. But it's been 5 years since the calamity. Why, they're only coming here now. It's simple, really. While a number of hamlets survived the immediate aftermath of the calamity, many were no longer able to support their communities. The residents found their lands had either been rendered barren or cut off from trade routes, and problems like those aren't easily solved. Though they tried to make the best of it, it was only a matter of time before they were forced to abandon their homes and seek a new life in the city. I see. But the calamity affected the whole realm, didn't it? Is the same thing happening in the other cities? If the talk is true, yeah. Though perhaps our situation's more pronounced. Ul'dah has a reputation for being prosperous, so it's natural that the refugees would try their luck here first. My heart goes out to them. It truly does. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't apprehensive. I hope their presence doesn't foment lawlessness in the city. Well, if things do take a turn for the worse, we always have the Immortal Flames. I dare say the Brass Blades would always welcome their help. The heroes who fought the Garlean Empire, patrolling the streets for riffraff? It may well come to that. Impoverished and desperate as they are, you may be sure that some of the refugees will turn to crime. You know what the place is like. If you knew a coin, you know hope. Oh, what will become of our city? Not all refugees are bad, mind you. Some are able to find employment and lead honest lives. Dodo tenderloins! Get your dodo tenderloins! Guaranteed cheapest in Bannerlin. Thank you for your custom, madam. Please come again. Looking around, you'd think that Ul'dah was well on its way to recovery. But peer through the veil of prosperity and you'll see no end to the misery and suffering. Oh, I think this is the weird voice. Sir, are you alright? What was that noise? What now? You mean to threaten a defenseless citizen? What? Sar, buy that meat, you say? That's absurd. Aye, as did I. Leave the poor woman alone, you damnable vulture. I'll overlook this, but just this once. God's bless you, adventurer.
if you hadn't come along when you did, who knows what that monster might have done? I don't bear thinking about it.
Ever the selfless hero, I see. It has been a while, adventurer. I've been watching you closely ever since you flew out of Limsa Lominsa. You discharged your duty as the Admiral's personal envoy with admirable humility, and you have displayed unfaltering courage in the face of danger ever since. Whensoever you come upon those in need, you gave them succor with no thought of personal gain. In summary, you've demonstrated all the qualities we seek in an adventurer. For reasons I cannot well explain, your every deed seems invariably to serve the general good, whether you mean it to or not. It is a happy knack, and one which speaks volumes for your character. Yet for all your admirable qualities, it is your gift which intrigues me the most. I speak of the visions you experience, visions like the one you had mere moments ago, if I'm not mistaken. I can provide you with the means to understand them. An acquaintance of mine is blessed with the selfsame talent, you see. If you so desire, I can introduce you to her. She and I fight for a common cause, a cause which would greatly benefit from your support. If you would agree to lend us your strength, we should be glad to do all within our power to aid you in your personal endeavors. Think on my offer a while. Should you decide to accept, pray speak with Mamodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand, as a close friend and ally of ours. Inform her that you've been chosen by the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and she'll tell you where to find us.
I have been chosen by the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Time to speak with Mamodi.
Scenes like that are becoming ever more common, I'm afraid. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, you'll probably be all right. Saying that, if you ever find yourself in a spot of bother, come and see me. Just don't go pestering me every time you graze your knee, eh? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tell of gentlemen's woes with the women folk from time to time. Ah, Ludwig. Sorry to keep you waiting. I was just providing guidance to a fresh-off-the-carriage adventurer. But gods, it's good to see you safe and well. To look at you, no one would ever guess you'd been hard at it with giants in the dark. You're every ilm the adventurer Mune said you'd be, Ludwig. The station master will be overjoyed when he hears the news. Oh, before I forget, there's a lass here who wants a word with you. Didn't actually know your name, but hearing her description, I knew who she meant right away. Oh. Thank you for sparing the time. I realize you don't know me, but I've been longing to speak with you for a while now. My name is Etta. I'm an adventurer like you, though I'm not very good at being one, if truth be told. Anyway, I was adventuring with my friends in Gridania when... I'm sorry, we were in Gridania when the leader of our party was killed. His name was Aver, and he and I were to be wedded this spring. You may not remember him, but to say that he remembered you would be an understatement. He would sing your praises from dawn to dusk. He saw you for what you are, you see, an adventurer's adventurer, and he swore that he would be like you one day. I believe that he would have succeeded had a fiend not robbed him of the chance. Since that day, I've thought long and hard about giving up adventuring, but when I think of the man you are, of all that you've achieved, I find that I'm inspired, just as Aver once was. And so I've decided to start training again as an adventurer. I'll go back to the village of my birth and begin my training anew. But I wanted to meet you first, to ask you your name. Ludwig MSQ. I shan't forget. Thank you, Ludwig MSQ. I pray that we will meet again. Fare you well. Adventuring can be a cruel, bleeding business. Time was I didn't know why anyone would bother. When they first asked me to take charge of the guild here, I didn't want aught to do with you lot. Thought it'd be a right pain in the ass looking after you all. But against my better judgment, I decided to accept the post, and I'm full glad I did. I feel privileged to be a part of your lives, and that goes double for yours, Ludwig. Huh? What'd you say? You want to know about the scions of the Seventh Dawn? They're beginning to move in earnest, then. Listen, Ludwig, the scions ain't no ordinary folk, and the work they do ain't no ordinary work. I know full well how capable you are, but even you would think twice about attempting some of the stuff they do. Knowing that, if you're still certain you want to get involved, I tell you what I can. Oh! A level up and a new ability and another new ability, so I will have to take a look at those once I'm out of this. You found your way to the quicksand, Ludwig. As you can see, we cater a clientele with an adventurous streak. With the chaos left in the wake of the calamity, the townsfolk will be needing the help of my patrons more than ever. Especially accomplished adventurers like yourself. Hello? I guess that didn't work? Okay. Let's see. Outburst. Oh, there's my AoE. I'm gonna put that over there. It seems like it's also an AoE. So you want to know more then, do ya? Well, ain't that a surprise? I swear if I painted certain death on one door and limitless wealth on another, 9 out of 10 adventurers would go through the first and the other bloke wouldn't be able to choose on account of being all done. Anyway, don't say I didn't warn you. First of all, if you're wondering whether you can trust these scions of the Seventh Dawn, you can. They're good people who've made it their mission to solve some of Eorzea's most pressing problems. Of course, that ain't no small task, and so they're always looking for dependable individuals to join them. Individuals like you, Ludwig. Now, I've been given leave to tell you where to find the scions, but you must promise to keep this information to yourself. As you can probably imagine, it's something Eorzea's enemies would very much like to know. The scions are headquartered in Vesper Bay, out in western Thanalan. The place you're looking for is called the Wakened Sands. Give your name to whoever's at the entrance, and you'll be let in. You're a man in a band, Ludwig, and the days ahead promise to be busy, but I hope you won't forget about 'em as help make you into the adventurer you are. Yeah. Didn't get that sentence. That's okay. Drop in and tell him how you're faring from time to time, you hear? Right. Well, I've said my piece. If you go. So it's time to head to the Waking Sands in Vesper Bay, but controversially, before I do that, I might pick up this job quest over in Limsa.
Greetings, Ludwig. In case such doubts fill your mind, you should know that I am ever willing to lend an ear if you find that you're troubled. At the very least, I would have you know this, because it seems Kalia does not. The Foreseer has been missing since this morning. There have been other times where she's disappeared without a word, but we've always been able to find her. Alas, that is not the case this day. Were the guildmaster here, he could deduce her whereabouts with nary a moment's concentration. I find myself beginning to wonder if those who devote themselves overmuch to Arcanima are more prone to bouts of wanderlust. But while I might wish to ponder further such oddities of character, we must needs organize a search party. Would you be so kind as to make inquiries in Hawker's Alley? It's not uncommon for Kalia's wanderings to take a path through the markets.
Alright, I will inquire about Kalia's location. Oh, Dodozan! I know you.
You seek a Makoti of Melvin's Gate? Why, yes, I've seen her. Spoke with her, in fact. She was, however, apprehended by the Yellow Jackets. The assessor was drilling me for details about a keycurn smuggling...
Of course.
about a keycurn smuggling ring based in Aleport, but then the soldiers arrived and took her away. If you wish to know her fate, then I suggest you speak with Ganeda, the crystal Coral get the Tower of Towers.
Foreseer Kalia. Yeah, we brought her in for questioning regarding the disappearance of the pirate Dusmaga. Member of the Arcanist Guild, are you? Then I see no reason to conceal the nature of our discourse. Perhaps you're already aware of this, but the Foreseer was once held captive by that rabid sea dog. Few pirates sink to such depths of depravity as Dusmaga. It has been 6 years now since he was exiled from Limsa Lominsa for engaging in the worst kind of black market trading, and now the villain has returned. He is, however, both cunning and cautious, and continues to evade our troops. Thus, we hope to borrow the knowledge of Foreseer Kalia, whose experiences have given her intimate familiarity with the way the scoundrel operates. At least that was our intent. After weathering a barrage of questions from the assessor, we found ourselves instead providing the details of our search. Should you wish to speak with Foreseer Kalia, I imagine she has already returned safely to your guild. So all the way back to the Arcanist's Guild.
Back already. You're led to believe she'd return to here? I'm afraid not. The Yellow Jackets told you something of her history with Dusmaga, did they? Perhaps it would be best if I told you the entire tale. Dusmaga's banishment was the result of a surprise inspection that revealed his involvement in an underground slave trade. The assessor that stepped aboard the pirates' merchant ship spoke of finding dozens of unwashed unfortunates crammed in that squalid hold. Among these prisoners was a young Mikote, destined for some black market auction block. Though Kalia was initially too terrified to even speak, the guildmaster brought her out of that fearful daze with the gift of an initiative grimoire. Yes, the self-same tome that she's carried with her entire career. Of course. Did you not mention that Kalia's grimoire was thrown into the sea? There are rumors that a Keycurn Of course it's a Keycurn! A Keycurn merchant of ill repute has retrieved the black market goods of the crew of the Morning Star heaved into the ocean. Even now he gloats over his salt-crusted catch in Aleport. It's entirely possible that the Foreseer's most prized possession was caught up in the Keycurn salvage net. I've no doubt that Kalia has reached the same conclusion. To Aleport with you, Ludwig. That's where you'll find your wayward assessor. It's probably Keycurns. Yes, combat pattern 256 should serve to cover all expected contingencies. You never know when you'll have to nullify a thaumaturge or two. My retrieval strategy is complete. Ludwig, it's good of you to come. I was unable to calculate for certain if you would piece together my movements in time. Very little is certain when so many variables are involved. But there is good news. This prisoner here was kind enough to confirm that the trader who salvaged the Morningstar's jettisoned cargo did indeed retrieve the tome matching the description of my lost grimoire. Lominsa law and the policies of Melvin's Gate would support the confiscation of goods connected to an official inspection, but alas, my personal belongings don't fall under that definition. Thus, I intend to launch an unofficial offensive against this black marketeer and his cronies. The peddler has already departed for Candlekeep Cay. It's time I gather to me such allies as I possess, and I count you as one of them, Ludwig. Despite the nature of this endeavor, Mistress Thubergeim has offered me her cooperation. If you would, join her at Ocean's Embrace. That's where we're going to ambush this disreputable Keycurn. Fantastic. I don't know what that is. The heck is that? Oh, it's in Lower Lenosha? So the Morrowby Dry Docks and then up. Okay. I can do that.
And as we prepare this ambush, I am going to go ahead and end this episode here. It has been a pleasure, but we are officially over an hour of recording time, and I'm trying to keep these episodes short and sweet, as recommended by a couple people who have been watching. So thank you so much for catching up with Ludwig in this episode. Next week, we'll continue with Sonya Sidesash, our side quest queen, and the week after, we'll ambush this keycard. What do you say? Alright, thank you guys so much for watching once again. It has been an honor. It's a Scream reference at the end of my video. Okay, well, bye!